Hi everyone, this is Sumant from Decode Now. Welcome to the lecture series on Python for beginners. Today we'll be learning about lists in Python. We'll learn what are lists and what are the different methods that we can perform on lists. So let's jump into the video. Lists are ordered sequences that can hold a variety of object types. So if you observe the example here, we have different elements like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 stored within a pair of square brackets, and each individual element is separated using comma. So similarly, we can store different elements of same type as well as different data types within a list. Lists are similar to strings. We can perform indexing as well as slicing on lists, and we can also perform concatenation, and lists can be nested also. So there are various useful methods that we can perform on lists. Let's see that in the notebook section. I'll say my list equals 1 comma 2 comma 3. These are all elements of same data type, and if I say shift enter, I get 1 comma 2 comma 3. We can also store different elements of different data types. For example, I can say my list of, I will store a string, and then I will store a number which is an integer, and then I will store a floating point value. And now I can see that a string, an integer, and a floating point value is stored within my list. So lists are similar to strings. They are ordered. They are in sequence. So we can perform indexing as well as slicing on lists as well. I'll say my list equals uh, 1 comma 2 comma 3, and now I'll say I want to fetch the first element. This is 1, but indexing always starts with 0. So I'll say something like my list of 0, and I'll be returned with the element, the first element, which is 1. I can say I want the first element till the end of my list. I can say something like my list of 1 till the end. It will return 2 and 3 for me. So this indexing. We can also perform concatenation. So if I say uh, another list is equal to 4 and also 5, and if I say my list plus another another list, then I would get something like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That is the three elements from my list and two elements from another list has been concatenated and made into a single array. But one thing you must observe here is nothing is stored. If we want to store it somewhere, we can say concatenated list equals, and then if we just paste concatenated list, we'll get the concatenated value stored in this particular new list. So this is how we can perform concatenation on lists. So lists are similar to strings. They are ordered, they are in sequence. We can perform indexing, slicing, concatenation. Everything is similar to what we do on strings. But the only difference is strings are immutable, whereas lists are mutable. What I mean by this is, let's take the example of this concatenated list itself. If I say concatenated list of 0 should be equal to, I'll say 1 in all caps. And if I shift enter, and if I see what is present in the concatenated list now, you can see this particular one which was in small has been changed to 1 in all caps. So lists are mutable. We can modify the objects present in lists, but whereas in strings that was not possible. So this is all about indexing, slicing, and concatenation in lists. Let's look at a few methods which we can perform on lists. So I'll say, let's take the example of this concatenated list itself. And if I say dot and if I press the tab, I can see all these default methods available which I can perform on list. So let me select append. Append is one of the method which is used to add an element to the list. For example, if I say append 6 and if I print out this concatenated list, you can see that 6 all caps is added at the end of the list. So whenever we use this append method and add an element inside the parenthesis, it will be added at the very end of the list. So similarly, we can say concatenated list dot append of 7, which is one more element, and if we check the concatenated list, 7 is added at the end of the list. So this is about append. We also have one more method called pop, which is used to remove an element. So basically, if I execute this particular method, 7 will be removed from concatenated list. So we can also see that 7 was returned as an output. And if I just print the concatenated list, you can see 7 is no more present in this particular list. So by default, yeah, the value which is removed, the index value which is removed is -1, which is the last element of the list. So if we don't provide any values within this parenthesis, it will remove the last element of the string. But if we provide particular value, let's say I'll provide 0, which is the first element, that is 1 in all caps. So now this element will be removed. As you can see, it returned 1 in all caps. And if I say concatenated list, you can see that 1 in all caps is no more present in this concatenated list. So this is all about append and pop. And one more method that I want to discuss is sort. So for that, let me define a new list which contains some random letters, say A, and I will say G, for example, and then I'll say H, and I will define one more list, which is num list, which is the numbers list. It will contain some random numbers like 3, comma 67, comma 89, comma 22, and 36. So if I perform new list dot sort, what this does is it sorts all the elements present in the list in the alphabetical order for this new list. So if I do shift enter, and if we can see not new list, it returns the elements in a sorted manner. And one thing you have to observe here is when I performed this new list dot sort, nothing was returned. Unlike here when I did the pop or pop, you could see the element which was getting removed, but here nothing was returned. So it automatically alters the things within the list itself. It does not return anything. If you want to check that, you can say something like sorted list equals new list dot sort. You can see again nothing was returned, and if you print sorted list, there will be nothing. You can also verify that by giving type of sorted list. You'll see the type as none type. So none type is basically data type where programmers use it as a placeholder where nothing when nothing is assigned to a particular object. So here sorted list has nothing, so the type of it is none. So similarly, we can perform this sort on the numbers list as well. I can say num list dot sort, and if I type num list shift enter, you can see before it was 367, 89, 22, 36. Now it is in order 3 in an ascending order 3, 22, 36, 67, and 89. So this is all about sorting alphabets as well as numbers. So one last method that I would like to discuss in this video is reverse. So if I say numlist dot reverse and shift enter, here also you can observe that nothing was returned when I performed the reverse method. But if I type numlist, you can see that all the elements were are reversed now. So this is also similar to sort method. Nothing will be returned, but change will occur in the inside the list itself. So this reverse method is a cool trick if you want to use in an interview. If the interviewer asks to reverse a list, you can just use this default method which is present in Python. So this is all about lists in Python. If you have learned something new, please do like the video, subscribe to our channel and support us. If you have any questions, suggestions or requests, please let us know in the comment section below. See you in the next video.